Hello, I'm Clinton Peverly, and I am here to show you guys an introduction into team roping. In team roping, I like to have a good saddle pad. I use a Cactus Relentless pad on most of my horses. I like this pad because it has a nice fleece on the bottom. It has a gel throughout here. It's gel also, so it takes a little more better impact off your horse, taking hits off the cattle, and just better protects my horse. Just better protects my horses from any injury, any soreness, anything like that. Any way I can help protect these animals is what I try to do. Is what I like to do. Now, saddling horses, I like to put my pad over their withers. This has a wither hole, so it has not too much pressure on their withers, and you can see here where my front cinch has been. It'll be right behind their front leg. I usually put it a little higher, then I'll move it back. And then in team roping, I like to have a team roping saddle. This is a Jeff Smith team roper. If you do other events, your saddles ain't gonna be quite always be the same. What makes this a roping saddle, first of all, your tree your saddle is made around a tree. It's a wooden tree, and the leather is around it. Your tree is going to be stouter. They do have different trees they have different types of trees, but this is just going to be a stouter tree. It's going to have this horns where I dally around. It's going to be stouter, so it can take the hits. It will basically last longer, and you're going to want rubber around your saddle horn so your rope will not run, will not burn your fingers. It'll basically take that rope and it will grab for you and stop. Like it will stop the cow, the rubber and the rope. The rubber will stop the rope from sliding, basically. And a lot of questions people get is if they don't have rubber around their saddle horns and you just have just the saddle horn with leather, you're either going to have some burnt fingers, you're going to have maybe some missing fingers, because once you rope an animal, like a steer, a calf, whatever you're chasing at the time, you're going to dally, and that horn, your rubber or your rope will slide. Doesn't matter how many times or how hard you hold, you're going to burn some fingers, you're going to lose some fingers. There's a lot of different things that will happen, and it's probably not a good thing to rope without any rubber on your saddle horn. Wrapping your saddle horn, preparing for team roping, is you can go buy packaged rubber. Like Classic Equine sells already pre-sliced rubber where you tear out the package and the rubber's ready to go. Most of my life, I just went to the tire store, I bought a used inner tube, and I would cut it myself. I usually cut it in about 1 inch thick pieces, and I just go through there and I take a knife or scissors. If you're not good at the knife, please use scissors, and just cut slices off. And what I do, if I had a piece of rubber here, I would show you, is I put it around the saddle horn, and I would stretch that piece of rubber a little bit, and I'd rotate it and I'd stretch it, and that way when I take it around the saddle horn, that rubber will stretch, and I can get more wraps around there, or it helps it put it on there. It don't pop and break. What I do is I'll put it around here, and I'll go around it, stretch it around it until it is tight, and where I can barely get it around the saddle horn. And I do that until I have enough rubber on there where I am and when I say enough rubber, I try to make sure I have the whole horn cap kind of covered with rubber, like the whole around it. Then that way, no matter where you dally, as long as you dally right below the horn cap here, you're gonna be on rubber, and you're not going to get yourself into an accident. What other equipment do you need besides saddle pad and a saddle to team rope? most events you just need a front cinch. In team roping, it's best if you have also a back cinch, and that way when you rope and you dally on the saddle horn, your saddle don't go up. So basically you're going to be doing like this with your saddle, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on your horse's withers, which will eventually make them sore. And also when you are in heading, when you head a steer and you turn the steer off, that saddle's now going to be pulling. It's going to be pulling backwards. It's going to be going this way. You're going to be pulling so. Therefore, I like the breast collar, a breast collar to help keep your saddle in place. So like if you run 10, 12 steers, I will normally get off, or I would just look down. I've been roping long enough. I can just look down and make sure all my saddle, my breast collar, my cinches are all still tight. They're not sore. They haven't moved in any way to make my horse sore.